Now, if you have thousands Ghana cedis sitting in your account and then you are looking for viable ways to grow your money, then this video is for you. We're going to talk about 5 ways you can grow your investment as a Ghanaian, starting with 1,000 Ghana cedis. And so this is going to be a series. I will go higher than 1,000, I'll go to 5,000, I'll come lower than 1,000 to 500, I'll also go lower to 100 Ghana cedis. So just stay tuned for this series. We're going to talk about investments you can start with 1,000 Ghana cedis if you're in Ghana as a Ghanaian. Now, if you're interested in investments, how to save money, how to invest, how to grow money, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. So whenever we upload content like this, you'll be one of the first people to see it. And so let's dive straight into the video. Now, I know a lot of people are wondering how they can save and invest money. But this video, we're going to talk about only the ways you can invest money, especially if you have 1,000 Ghana cedis. And so this video is going to be in order. I'm going to start with ones which are relatively safe, then I'll move on to ones which are relatively riskier, and will give you more profits. Because you know that the rule in finance is that usually when the risk of an investment is lower, it means that the returns are usually lower. When the risk of an investment is higher, the returns are usually higher. So that is the mindset you have to have when you are watching this video. And remember, this video is made for infotainment purposes only. And so remember to consult and do all the information gathering you want to do or you need to do before you start any of the investments in this video. Okay, so let's dive straight into the video. Now, the first on the list for investment is Treasury bills. Now, I know a lot of people want to understand what Treasury bills is, so I'm going to explain it briefly. But if you would like to get the full information on how this works, we have a video on that. So check the link in the description for how Treasury bills work and how the interest rate is calculated. Okay. So with Treasury bills, basically what happens is that you are giving money to the government of Ghana, and then the government of Ghana uses that to fund infrastructural projects or pay salaries, whatever the government needs to fund this capital expenditure, and then the government pays you back your capital with interest. And so this has made it quite a favorite among investors because your capital is assured and your interest is assured. So basically, when you are buying a treasury, you know that I'm going to get this amount of interest, and so at the end of the period, I'm going to get my capital plus the interest, and that's what makes it a favorite among investors. And so right now, treasury bill rates is hovering in the 20%, so in between 23 to 25%, depending on the one you choose. Now there are 3 different types of treasury bills. We have the 91 days. You have the 182 days, and you have the 364 days. So there are 3 different types, and each of them have their own interest rates. Now, recently there have been a lot of changes regarding the rates. In the beginning of the year, it was around 28%, 27%. Now it's hovering around 25, 26%. And then you can also get a 364 day bill to buy. Then you can get the 91 and the 182, 184 days bill to buy. And so that's how basically it works. Now let's say the interest is 25%. What this means is that if you have 1,000 cedis and then you buy it, you're going to get 250 cedis interest rate. Now I know some people will say that that is small, which means you're going to get 1,250 total. I know some people complain that is small, but this is margin. This is money that you would have been sitting in your bank for a very low interest rate. And so this additional interest rate you get on your money, it's not bad at all because, like I said, it would have just been sitting in your bank with no interest rates. And so to get 25%, assuming that 25 is just for calculation purposes, it's not bad at all. Then your capital was safe, and then your interest rate is also guaranteed. And so this is what makes it such a good investment for people. Now, for how to buy treasury bills. Now, there are some apps that help you to buy treasury bills, or if you want to buy treasury bills, you can just walk to your commercial bank. You just go to the bank and then tell them that you want to buy treasury bills. Each bank has it. So whether you go to EcoBank, Cowbank, GCB, Prudential, just walk to your commercial bank and tell them you want to buy treasury bills, and then they'll take you through the process. If you already have an account there, it's even simpler. If you don't, then you might need to go with your Ghana card, passport pictures, proof of address to do so. So that is basically how you buy treasury bills in Ghana. And so that's the first type of investment. Now, let's go to the second one. Now, the second investment is fixed deposits. Now, what fixed deposit does is that fixed deposit is basically an investment program where you give your money to a bank for an interest rate. Your capital is safe, your interest is also guaranteed. And so at the end of the period, you get your capital plus your interest. And so some banks start with a month, some banks have 30 days, 60 days, and so on and so forth. And so you can basically give the bank their money, and then for a period of time, you get a very good, you get your money plus your capital. So you can do 30 days, 60 days. And how some banks structure it is that the more money you give them, the higher the interest rates. And so recently I made a video where we compare the interest rates of Fidelity Bank for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, and then a year. And so we compare those rates. So if you want to watch it, just leave a comment. I'll send you the link to that video so you can go and watch it. And so that is also there for fixed deposits. Now, for the fixed deposits, one important thing to take note of is that some microfinance companies also give you good rates on fixed deposit investments. Some savings and loans also do. And so it's good to conduct a very good study, a very good research before you take the fixed deposit. So you get a very good rate, because the rate you may be getting from your bank might not be as good as the rate another bank will give you. So that is how basically fixed deposits work. And so basically give your money to the financial institution for a number of days, 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, 1 year. Then afterwards, they give your money back plus interest. Okay, so let's go to the third type of investment. Now, this third type of investment is now moving a bit to the riskier side. Like I said, we are going to vary it up a bit. Now, we're going to talk about stocks buying. That is basically buying stocks in the Ghana Stock Exchange and buying stocks in the US Stock Exchange. So what are stocks? Stocks basically represent ownership of a business. And so what this means is that when you own a stock, you own a percentage of the business. So you could be 1% of the business, 2%, 3%, 10% of the business. So stocks and equities, they have the same meaning, right? Now, how is this an investment? How does this work as an investment? What you need to do is that when you buy shares of a company, let's say you buy a share of a company and then the company's share price is 2 cedis. Then when the company's share price increases to 3 cedis, what this means is that you have made 1 cedi gain on your investment. Now, if the company's share price reduces from 2 cedis to 1 cedi, it means that you have lost 1 cedi on your investment. That's how it is. Now, there's also something we call dividends. Now, dividends basically means that when you own a share, the companies can pay you a percentage just for owning the share from their profits, without you having to sell the share to get your money. And so when that happens, it's called a dividend. And so some companies pay dividends. Not all companies pay dividends. Okay, now this is how it works. Let's use a practical example in Ghana from the Ghana Stock Exchange. So from the Ghana Stock Exchange, we have companies like EcoBank, Unilever, we have GCB Bank, we have Cow Bank. All these companies have shares listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. And how it works is that when you buy, for example, MTN shares. Now, at the beginning of the year, MTN shares were around 260 pesos, and they went to 265 pesos. They've gone to 270 pesos. It went to 280 pesos. Now it's around 290 pesos. That is how much the shares have risen in this short period of time. It's almost about to get to 3 cedis. And so it means that if you bought it when it was 2 cedi 50 pesos, and now it's at 2 cedi 90 pesos, it means that you have made 40 pesos gain per share. That's how basically it is. Now, the reason why investing in shares is seen as a risky investment is because you can gain or you can lose if the share price falls in value. That is why you have to make sure that you are choosing the right stocks. Choosing the right stocks is what makes you benefit when you buy shares. At the same time, if you can choose the right stocks, but then you can buy it at the wrong time. If you choose the right stocks and you buy at the wrong time, you still end up losing your investment. That's how basically investing in shares is like. So that's why it can be seen as a risky venture, but also very rewarding. Now let's talk about US stocks. Well, US stocks, companies like global tech companies like Google, Amazon, Tesla, which are all part of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a collection of the largest, it's an index actually, that tracks the largest 500 companies listed on the US stock exchange. And so these companies, majority of that industry is the global tech, which makes a huge percentage of the S&P 500 because these companies are very valuable. We have Apple worth over $3 trillion. I mean, $3 trillion is how much the company Apple is worth. Yeah, which is more than the whole of Africa's GDP put together. And so if you look at this, I mean, so people like to buy shares in this company. You have Apple, you have Amazon, you have Tesla. It's the same principle. When the share price of the companies increase, you make more money. When the share price of the company decrease past what you bought it at, you make a loss. Some of the companies will also pay dividends, some don't pay dividends. So that's how basically investing in stocks is like. So if you would like to join our stock trading class one-on-one, just leave a comment or check the link in the description. You'll find us and then we'll be able to attend to you. Now, if you want to buy stocks online, for Ghana Stock Exchange, you can use the IC Wealth app. For the US stock market, you can use the Bamboo app. There are videos on this already I have created, so just check the description or leave a comment and then you'll be attended to. So now that's the third investment. So we're moving on to the fourth one. Now the fourth business is agribusiness. Now agribusiness is a bit tricky. So let me put it in this way. We're going to divide agribusiness investment into two. Now the first way is that you could join agribusiness by buying farm produce and selling it. Right, so you could use your 1,000 cedis to go to the farms, buy vegetables from farm at the farm gate price. That's what we call farm gate price. Farm gate price means that the price of the produce is cheaper. Now, when these people buy the farm gate price, maybe let's say the farm is in the central region, usually they take it to the large markets and sell it there. So they buy from the farmer. So now right now, a bag or the largest bag of cabbage is around 1,200 to 1,300 Ghana cedis for the largest bag of cabbage. It's called size 5. It's huge. Now you could buy that, come to Accra and sell it. Because right now there's not a lot of cabbages in the market. Now you could sell it as a retail price, and you sell it in singles, or you could sell it at a wholesale price. You are selling it as a bulk. Now each of the ways you sell it depending on how much you get. Now remember, if you're selling in retail, it moves slower than when you sell a wholesale. Now you could sell it at wholesale and make an additional 800 to 900 cedis profit on it. When you take out your transportation to bring it to Accra. But if you want to sell it at retail, you will make times 2 or times 3 that. But then the problem is that if you are not at a good location where people can have easy access to you, you might not be able to make your money back quickly. That's the first part. Now the second section of agribusiness is actually going into farming. Now if you're actually going to farming with 1,000 cedis, there might be some, because for example the seeds, depending on the plants you want to cultivate in the area, clearing on the land, depending on the area you are in, might cost more if you're not clearing the land yourself. If you're using a tractor to clear the land, it's a bit cheaper, but then because you just have to buy fuel for them, rent and operate. But not everybody have access to tractors in their farm area. And so what might make it a bit simpler is that maybe instead of starting with 1 acre, you might reduce the quantity to maybe like 2 plots. That way then you can scale that with your 100,000 Ghana cedis. But if you want to farm 1 acre with 1,000 cedis, that might be a challenge depending on the crop. Because if you want to buy, for example, let's use pepper as an example. If you want to buy good hybrid seeds for pepper, you are looking around 700 Ghana cedis to do 1 acre. But if you want to do 1 plot, you are looking at between 100 cedis to 150 to 200 cedis, around that range, depending on the current price. And then you have to buy some cutlasses. If you have a cutlass already, you also need a hoe. You need to get a knapsack sprayer. You need to get a fertilizer. You need to get a fungicide, and insecticide also. So when you put all this together, it will, depending on the area, because these things, and every area and how much you sell them, but in an area, it can average you about 1,000 cedis. If you do about 2 plots or more, 2 plots, yeah, or maybe less than 2 plots, like a plot. And then you keep on increasing as you sell. And so that would be the fourth business, that's agribusiness. Now let's go to the fifth one. And the fifth one is just starting a business. Now, there are different kinds of businesses you can start with 1,000 Ghana cedis. Each of them has its own risks and reward, and some are good as side hustles, some are not good as side hustles. Now, an example is selling of thrift clothes. what we call in Ghana second-hand clothes or brony wehu. All these things are different names for second-hand clothes. Now, if you, go to Cantonment, you can get a good selection, or what we call bill, get a good selection, or you go very early in the morning when the goods are just been removed, and then you can get to 2 cedis, 3 cedis, 10 cedis, 5 cedis. You pick a good selection, you iron it, make it look good, then you bring it to Accra to sell. That's what some people do. And if you're able to go very early when the shops, because usually when you go in the morning, the guys who sell feel like you're bringing them good luck when you buy from them, because you are the first customer of the day. And so usually they do treat you much better. You might get a much better deal. And so you can go in that angle. That's one. Now the second one is that you can join what we call these pre-order groups. So these pre-order groups, where they import things from China to Ghana. Now make sure you join a good pre-order group, because some of them can be scammed. But the ones which are legit, you're able to get things which are in Ghana, which are quite expensive. You're able to get them cheaper online from China. And so they import them as a group. When they bring it to Ghana, they share the importation cost or the shipping cost among everybody. So it's cheaper for everybody. Then you can actually, if they want to start a business, you can actually use this to get home appliances cheaper, because from China they are cheaper there. So that's another advantage. Now, for those who are also very good in social media, you can look at going to social media marketing, social media branding, social media consultation. That is also there. You can go into, if you are good at writing, you can become a writer, write articles for people, captions and stuff like that. If you are good with media, you can become a photographer, videographer, video editor. All these options are also there for you. And so we've come to the end of the video. I know it has been a long video, but it's because we wanted to be educative and informative for you, so you can take a very good informed decision. So if you like the video, like the channel, so if you like what we spoke about, like the video. If you have any issues, leave a comment and let's engage there. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.